Yo, what is up, my beautiful people, YouTube? Welcome to another video on this channel. This is Lazy Algorithm here as usual, and here with the gems once again. So I'm going to be talking about technical interviews in this video, and I have some tips I've compiled to help you succeed in your technical interviews, specifically for software engineering positions. So this is kind of like towards the end of recruiting season, and some of you watching this video are struggling with passing technical interviews, struggling with getting to the interview stage, but you're just not able to scale through, just that little thing you're missing. But that ends now, guys. I'm here to give you some tips to help you pass your technical interviews, to help you stand out, to help you improve your chances in this interview. So if you enjoy videos like this, feel free to like, subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss gems like this, because I stay dropping gems, guys. So do not miss it. Share with your friends that are in the same boat as you, or maybe not, a friend that's struggling. This video is gonna help. So let's get into the video. So guys, I had an idea for this video. Instead of just like giving you guys, the tips, I decided to use a problem, a very simple problem. So, you would be able to really apply these tips that I'm giving you, because it's way easier than just telling you to do something, but then like we're going to apply these tips in a real life interview problem. So we would see how this would work. And yeah, I picked the simplest problem ever you could ever see. I don't even think you get this problem in an interview, because it'll be done in like 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds even. So yeah, it's just for the purpose of this video. So the problem is on the screen. Given an array, write a function to determine the largest value in that array. So in the examples you see 16934, the answer is 9, and 18 minus 2, the answer is 8, because they're both the largest values in the array. So guys, I have like Visual Studio open up here. I have the prompt here, as well as the boilerplate code, which I already pre-written for us. And yeah, let's get started. So the first tip I have for you guys is to ask clarifying questions. This is so important, because this is the very first flag that the interviewer would have about you. Does this person just dive in head on into a problem, or is the person cautious? Does the person ask questions? So you want to make sure to ask clarifying questions. So for our problem, questions you can ask are like, is the array sorted? Is it sorted in ascending or descending order? Can you have duplicates in the array, for example? Are there strictly integers in the array? Can there be floats or strings? And how do you handle that? What else can you ask? You can ask what's the size of the array, typical size, or the max size you can have, because all these questions basically would help influence your algorithm you're writing, not just for this problem specifically, but for any problem you're given. So it's very important to ask questions. Secondly, you want to make sure you voice out your thought process to your interviewer on how you want to approach the problem. And I'm going to tell you guys why this is important, because in situations where the problem can tend to be difficult, you want to make sure that you're voicing out, your thought process, because if you're going down the wrong path, the interviewer can catch that and kind of like help steer you off of that path, help direct you or turn you around, so you don't like just waste time doing the wrong thing. As opposed to like when you're quiet and the interviewer has no clue what's going on in your head. So you're just to yourself, you're keeping quiet, and to be honest, no one wants to work with that kind of person. So yeah, it's very important that you're very vocal, guys. You come up with your solution, even though it's inefficient. For example, you don't just want to keep it to yourself. You want to let the interviewer know that it's inefficient. My third tip is to always look to optimize your algorithm. And why do I say this? Because it gives the interviewer that like idea that, oh, this person is always looking to improve on what the person has done, because you want to improve your inefficient solution and make it efficient. And this translates to the workplace, because every company wants someone that's always willing to improve, someone that shows a growth mindset, and this is very important. So you always want to optimize your solution to a problem. My fourth tip for you guys is kind of like always look for corner and edge cases. So corner and edge cases, I mean in this case, so what if you have like an empty list? Like, does that affect your algorithm in any way? Or what if you have a list of twos? Like, does that affect your algorithm in any way? You know, questions like these, like you can kind of like point them out to the interviewer and say, you know, I want to try these edge cases and let's see how it fares with my algorithm, right? And it shows like you think outside the box. It shows that, you know, you're just not one directional or unidimensional. So yeah, we're gonna kind of like get into the code right now. So these are kind of tips I'm giving you before you even start writing the code. So talking about like optimizing your algorithm, like there's this thing called the big O notation. I'm going to go into that in my other in a future video, but then just know that it's a way of kind of like analyzing the efficiency of your algorithm. And if you're familiar with big O, like you always want to save that or point that out before. Some people do it before they code, some people do it after they've written the solution to their code. I like to do it before I even start coding. So yeah, that's basically it. So let's go ahead and code. And once you've let these known to your interviewer, the interviewer give the go ahead. You're like, okay, I want to see your solution, code it up. So that's what we're gonna do now, right? So a solution I have for this is to sort the array and always return the last element, right? Because if we do that, right, we're gonna have so in this case we're gonna have 1, 2, 8, right? And the last element when you sort the array in ascending order is always going to be the largest element. Now, is this a solution? Yes. Is it efficient? Not really, because if you have a lot of elements, say 1,000,000, and you just don't want to sort every single thing just to get this last element. No, because sorting is it can be expensive in time for an algorithm or machine to process. So you don't want to do that. A more efficient algorithm would be to keep track of the max element as you go through every single element in this array. And when you're done going through every element, you return the max element. So that's what we're going to do. So let's start writing this. We're going to set like a variable to hold the max element, right? Let's just call it max element. And I'm going to explain the syntax in a bit. So we have float minus inf. So what this is, you can kind of think of it as the smallest possible value that a machine holds or a computer can compute, right? And we want to make this our max element because if you have an array full of negative numbers, right? Every negative number essentially would be bigger than, almost guaranteed to be bigger than this number. Because if you set the max element to be 0 at the start, like, and you have all negative numbers, like 0 is going to be the max element and 0 is not even in the array. So you don't want to do that. So you always want to set this to be the smallest possible value a machine can hold, right? Excuse me. So we're going to just go through the array, right? So for num in R, right, we're basically going to set, so we're going to set the max element to be the max element and num, right? So what this is doing is it's saying, oh, if you go through the array, right, if you go through the list, set the max element to be whichever is bigger. This max is an inbuilt function to say whichever is bigger between these two, right? So between that number and the max element. So by the time you've done that and you've gone through the entire array, at the end you just want to return the max element, right? You want to return the max element. So now let's come back to our edge cases that we thought about, right? What if it's an empty list? Will this still hold? If this is an empty list, our max element is going to be initialized. This for loop is not even going to run because we have a non-existent list, right? And it's just going to return max element. It's going to return this, whatever this is, right? And that's not what we want. We want it to return none, meaning that there's nothing to even compute in the first place. So we're going to handle that. we're gonna say if, and there's so many ways you can type this. You can say if not R, just return none. Or you can say if the length of R is 0, return none, which means it's just an empty list. So in this case, we are done with our algorithm, and I have test cases here. So we have our test array here, this array right here, and we're gonna run this. We're going to run this and see, and it gives us 120 once we've run this, right? So now let's test with the empty list that we talked about, right? If we have an empty list and we run this, what does it give us? It gives us none, which is what we want. If we have a list of just 2s, for example, and we run this, it gives us 2. So this is fine, our algorithm works, it's perfect, and we're Gucci. So guys, the last and very last tip I have for you is be a human being. Now this might sound funny to some of you, but seriously, be a human being. Smile, crack jokes during your interview. Like, show the interviewer you're a human being, not just like a robot that's solving a problem, you know, straight face all the time. Very, very serious. Like, I don't know about you guys, but most people don't want to work with those kind of people that don't, like, you can't relate with them. So you want to show the interviewer that, you know, you're a human being, you know, smile. I know some of you have beautiful teeth, so show those 32, like, smile to the interviewer, you know, show that you're enthusiastic, a fun problem solver, and someone that it will be fun to work with. And I think, if anything, it's going to be a plus at the end for you, especially if you get the problem right and efficiently. So yeah. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you love videos like this, I love doing videos like this, so I'm gonna do more in the future. So just let me know. You can hit me up on my socials if you have any more questions, and you know, we're going to kind of like release more videos in preparation for it. So this video was how to pass your technical interview. I'm gonna have another video how to prepare. So they're two different things, and I'm gonna release that video sometime in the future, so stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching once again. You guys are amazing, and share this video with people who think are maybe struggling to pass the interview, and it's gonna help them in the long run. So thank you guys once again. I love you all, and peace.